have to stand up strong, face the truth about themselves, to understand what went wrong. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way to stand up, stand up, stand up.
Uniting the races with truth instead of dividing them with lies. We're also rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man. I am Jesse Lee Peterson. Good morning. Welcome to the show. It is Wednesday, Manhood Hour, coming up in the third hour today. Every Wednesday, third hour of the show is Manhood Hour, rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man. A quick reminder, we are streaming on Odyssey now. odyssey.com/@Jesse Lee Peterson. Odyssey. We are streaming on Odyssey. And you can follow us on Gab, Rumble, and Trovo. Gab, Rumble, and Trovo. Don't forget to follow, tweet, subscribe, ring the bell, check out the merch, and all those good things. I was reflecting as I was going over the package this morning, the show packet with Nick, my producer, better known as the Anchor Baby. And it's amazing that, talk about Grandpa, tell me about the good old days. It's amazing that how bad the outer world is today, to a point that if you didn't grow up in the good old days, you wouldn't even know, you would remember, you wouldn't know that things used to be amazing, really. In the outer world, they were amazing. A little conflict, but you wouldn't know because they're changing the language. They're changing the order of everything. They're changing the order of everything. The order of God. God in Christ, Christ in man, man over woman, woman over children. They're changing that order. And just imagine if this continues, the generation that is being born now. They're going to be in a mess because they won't know, unless their parents were able to show them, they won't know that there was a right way and a better way to live, a way that worked for the most part. They wouldn't know, and their life would just be screwed up. This would be hell on earth. It's already hell on earth, but it'll get worse. It's amazing. And it's also amazing that the people who are supposed to be on the side of good, of God, right? They are acting and speaking and doing the same thing that those who are against God are doing. It's the same language, it's the same treatment, it's the same everything. And so it's like there is nothing to fight back with. And so the kids, they can't help but believe into what's happening. I mentioned the other day that when I moved to Los Angeles as a 18-year-old man, I moved here at 18. And at some point, I started going to the churches. I started to listen to Louis Farrakhan and Jesse Jackson and NAACP and others. And then you would see these people on TV in different places. And you thought, as a kid, young man, you thought that they were righteous people, that they were telling the truth about racism and things like that. Though I did not hear about that growing up in Alabama on a plantation. I did not hear about that at all. It was, at that time, it was to love God and love your neighbor as yourself. Treat people the way you would like to be treated. Not the way they treat you, but the way you would like to be treated. You treat people with love, right? Honesty and love, but don't judge. And so when we were growing up, even though the Jim Crow signs were there and stuff like that, we knew it wasn't all white people because they were opposition to the lie. We knew that it was the Democratic Party, that Jim Crow was about Democrats not wanting blacks to be a part of their party and not wanting the blacks to sit at their lunch counters and things like that, enter their bathrooms. They didn't want the black people to be a part of that. But we knew all people were not like that. And we knew that even with the Democratic Party doing that, it was evil. And so we knew that people serve good and there are those who serve evil. But that type of knowing, that type of language is disappearing quickly. In the church, the churches, between men and women, in the workplace, and so in the workplace, in the schools. And so the kids are not hearing it. They don't get it at home because the mothers are out playing, pretending they're equal to men. They want to work. The hell with the children, right? They want to work. They want their egos fulfilled. And so the language is gone. And if you're not reminding people about what's right, then what is there to remind them? It's crazy. It is crazy. It's like the inmates are now running the insane asylum, and that is true. In our country, at one time, was the greatest country on this side of heaven, created by Christian white males who founded and created, with the help of God, the greatest country on this side of heaven. And it wasn't easy. It wasn't easy. They suffered through it, but they got it done. And for a long time, they kept it going until the enemies of God was able to weaken the white man. They've been chipping away at it for a long time now and look like they're nearly there. There's no talk anymore about being right, about loving one another and doing the right thing. It's crazy. It is insane. Look at who is ruling America now. And you can decide if it's the truth or the mob. According to the Daily Mail, there are a bunch of black people. And I saw this, I couldn't believe it. I'm like, you got a bunch of stupid black people standing out at the courthouse there in Kenosha, trying to force an innocent man to be found guilty by trying to intimidate the jury. And I'm looking at these people and I'm saying, like, who do they think they are? I bet you they're all thugs and no good where they have to be. Because Kyle Rittenhouse trial has nothing to do with them at all. Zero. Remember when we used to have court in the United States and it was just between the accuser and the accused. You didn't have all this attention on it and a mob of no good people because they hate white people, which means they're no good. Their hearts are wicked. They hate white people, so they want to punish even the decent white people because they are no good. The blacks who are doing this are no good. And the whites who are joining forces with them are so weak and afraid, they think joining forces with the enemy is going to protect them. It's not. When people don't have love, they turn on you. And so these same blacks that these white folks are out there picking it with, they're going to turn around and turn on you. Say one thing or do one thing that they don't agree with. You see? Because they have no love. A person with anger cannot be trusted. But the whites are afraid. And if you don't see South Africa in America now, I don't know what it's going to take. Maybe you're not aware of what's happening or what has happened in South Africa. So I want you to see this, and you can determine who rules America now. The mob or the truth or the mob. Daily Mail's reported Black Lives Matter protesters demonstrated on the steps of Kenosha Courthouse, threatened on Tuesday to shut down the city if Kyle Rittenhouse was acquitted. As the National Guard were put on standby to deal with any potential unrest. Watch this.
If Kenosha don't get it, if Kenosha don't get it, ain't right. 7 shots in the park, that ain't right. We gon' take it to the street to find the police. We gon' take it to the street to find the police.
And this man trial has nothing to do with race or anything. It's just a young man trying to help out in his community, and he protect businesses. He went there with a first aid kit, according to the report. It has nothing to do with these no good black folks at all, these evil, nasty black people. And these stupid fat men and black women, instead of the men correcting the women, they're out there with them doing wrong. And that's not the way it was before. That's not the America I grew up in. And no justice, no peace. What does that mean? What does it have to do with them? Go back to your hood and kill yourselves. That's what you're doing. Around the country, they're killing one another. Why don't they go and protest that? It doesn't make sense. And there is no talk about changing the hearts anymore, even in the churches. They can read the Bible. They can read the Bible, but they cannot find God. Those people should be arrested immediately. Mob justice is not justice in America, anywhere, really. And Americans are allowing the enemies of America, these black people are the enemy of America, to take over and put you in jail. And then they'll go back home and destroy each other. It's hard to believe that that's happening. But when I think about it, reflect, I see the breakdown of Christianity, of the family, of the schools. It's just been a constant breakdown. And now they use that word racism, which is not real. You've heard me say over and over, no such thing as racism. It says hate or love. You have one or the other. You can have both. You cannot have both in your heart. You have one or the other. And these black people are suffering because of hatred of the heart. They have no love. They have no care. They don't treat each other right. They have no compassion for one another. And white people, you're just laying down and letting them do this. And the government is setting it up where they'll move into the suburbs, into the rural areas. So they are sending evil people to you. And they're taking away your right to protect yourself from them. And they're not going to send the police. Don't you see what's happening? Are you that blind and that afraid? Fear not, God is with you. This is Black Lives Matter, a bunch of fat, black, radical, communist lesbians. And you're being intimidated by evil. Good will conquer evil. Don't worry. Allow yourself to endure what you got to endure. Stand up. before it's too late. Speak up. These people are no good people. And you can't justify that. Just as those Antifa people. Antifa people are no good. They are evil young men and women. They are out. Just think about this. This young man trial Kyle Rittenhouse trial is about Kyle and the three people and the rest of the mob that was involved. Kyle protected himself. And these stupid blacks out there talking about no justice, no peace. They're just dumb with those nappy hair, won't even comb their hair. How you going to trust somebody that won't comb their hair? Isn't that amazing? Kyle trial has nothing to do with them at all. And they use racism to control the whites because for the last, how long I've been aware of this? For the last 32 years and maybe a little longer, they have been using that word and nobody spoke up. No one said, no, black folks, that's a lie. I don't hate you. You do what you want. I'm not giving in to that. But white people felt guilty about nothing. How can someone make you feel guilty about doing nothing? You did nothing to these folks. Zero. The condition that the blacks are in today is worse than slavery. It makes slavery look like a vacation camp. You go where you go and have fun. Because they have put themselves in slavery with their own hatred. Thinking that they're getting revenge on someone. Revenge is of God. You can't get revenge. You can try. And you feel good. Your ego feels good thinking that you are. But look, they have only gotten worse. They're not profiting anything. Just because they take your land, it's not going to do anything for their soul. They will not have peace. Y'all better start speaking up. This is from the Revolver, a report by former Navy officer and editor at Human Events by the name of Jack Posobiec. He is a reporter, former reporter over there. I mean, a report by a former naval officer and editor at Human Events. Jack Posobiec says that two jurors are holding up the Rittenhouse verdict. They're holding up, two of them. And you know why? Because they're afraid. According to this report, they're afraid. They're outright cited backlash from the mob, having their identities leaked, and their families and jobs being targeted. All according to a U.S. Marshal in Kenosha. So if this is right, the jurors, a couple of them seem to be intimidated by these stupid black people out there. As long as these black people know that they can intimidate you, they're not going to stop. When people want to hurt you, they look for your weakness. And when they tap in on it, they ain't going to stop. Their ego is glorified by thinking that they're hurting you. And that's what you're building the anger in the black people by giving into it. They have no self-control. Not all, but most. And I'm warning you, they're reporting that two jurors are holding up the verdict. Everybody know that Kyle is innocent. But they are being intimidated. And they can end up, due to their own fear, end up putting this young man in jail. An innocent man in jail for doing what you have the right to do in America. Protect yourself. If I were you guys, ladies and gentlemen, or gentlemen and ladies, what I would recommend that you call somebody over in South Africa. Call some white folks over there, some black folks too if you want, and see what condition the whites are in South Africa. Because whomever controlled those blacks over there and made them walk lockstep and barrel into line of intimidating white people, they're doing the same thing here. It worked over there, now they are making it work here. And white people, they're going to put you in a corner and you will have no defense. And then they're putting these black, especially these radical black females in charge of our government and our police departments and things. And they're making rules that lock up white people. And they're telling you what they're doing. It's not like it's a secret anymore. Because this mess has been secretly going on for a while. Y'all need to talk to the folks in South Africa if you can't see for yourself what's going on. Your fear is causing you hell. Your children and your children's children. And they are using the blacks to bring in socialism because they see that blacks are easily used for evil. I'm not making it up. Y'all know it. I'm just saying it out loud. I'm just warning you. Or I'm just saying what you already know to be true. In hopes that you start speaking up at some point and not be afraid. Overcome fear with love. But the love that comes from the change of heart. Not the fake love. So two of the jurors are already intimidated, according to this report. NBC is reporting that the jury consists of 7 women and 5 men. They were randomly selected by Rittenhouse by drawing names from a tumbler. I didn't know that they allowed that. That's my first time seeing the accused draw names from a box. It's like he drawing names of people that are intimidated and weak because and not going to do the right thing by him. I remember when we took Jesse Jackson to court and his son, they had to select jurors, but I think the lawyers did it because they talked to the prospect, right? And they decided who was going to sit on the jury. And it was hard to find people in Los Angeles because most of the people are liberal. It was interesting. I wish Kyle well. I really do. He hasn't done anything wrong. And I hope that he come out on the other side of this deal a stronger man and become president of the United States. Really. Because we need men like that to run our... Men got to come back to order. Men, stop acting like little women. Sounding like them and acting like them and... Anyway, a Wisconsin review, concerns over privacy related to the Kyle Rittenhouse jury increased as Kenosha County Judge Bruce revealed that someone was videotaping jurors outside of court as they got on the bus. They were videotaping the jurors, trying to intimidate you. That's what evil people do, folks. They try to intimidate you. And it's during that time that if you stand up, you're made strong. It's in your weakness that you're made strong. And white people, you know this. You built the country. What the? You went through hell building the Constitution and the Declaration of Independence. That wasn't easy. And so you got these no-good blacks videotaping the white people. Had nothing to do. It's all white. And even if it wasn't, it's still not their business. What business of this is theirs? Stay out of other folks' business. Leave Kyle alone. Go clean up your own yard. they take a video. You remember we played this videotape for you last week, I believe, of the man that they say allegedly is the nephew of George Floyd. This is from the Revolver. Cortez Rice, alleged nephew to George Floyd, threatened the Rittenhouse juror with the release of their identity. Watch this.
I ain't even gonna name the people that I know that's up in the Kenosha trial. But there's cameras in there. Yep. It's definitely cameras up in there, and there's definitely people taking pictures of the juries and everything like that. We know what's going on. So we need the same results, man. We need the same results. Justice for Daunte Wright.
Isn't that amazing? Some nasty-looking, black-looking thug with hood jewelry on and looked like he had a ponytail, threatening someone. Why does he go and get his own life together? And you're intimidated by it. I was just so scared. That's amazing to me. But I understand. You destroy the men, you destroy Christianity, you destroy the homes, then the devil come up out of the woodwork, out of the gates of hell. You can turn me up at the gates of, stand me up at the gates of hell, and I won't back down. No, I won't back down. I won't be turned around. It's time to stand up, especially men. If you stand up, the women and children will follow. They have no other choice. But if you are afraid and become like a girl, then there's nothing. Scott is out of Phoenix, Arizona. Good versus evil, folks. Scott, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hi, thank you, Jesse.
Yes, sir.
Quite often you quote Jesus saying when he said, "Seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness."
Yes.
You say his right way.
Yes.
But that was Jesus who said that.
Right.
And Jesus also said, "My kingdom is not of this world."
Right.
He was saying, "This is mine."
Right.
So when you say, "Seek ye first the kingdom of God," are those two kingdoms the same one?
Why are you asking me this?
Well, because I'm asking you because I don't think you understand that Jesus is the king.
Do you understand it?
Yes.
Then why are you asking me?
Because I don't. Because you give people the impression that Jesus is not the king.
And what business of that is yours?
Well, because I want people to know the truth, as Jesus said.
So then why don't you go out and tell them?
Well, I am right now.
No, not on my show. Get your own show and tell them.
Okay, so you're concerned about your show more than you're about the truth?
No, I'm concerned about you being evil. And you wouldn't know the truth. You wouldn't know the truth if it smacked you in the face.
Okay.
Thanks, Scott.
Bye.
See, this is why our country going to hell in a handbasket. These stupid Bible thumpers are just Bible thumping away while standing up for nothing. Amazing. I want my country back. 888-7753-773. Got to take a break. When I come back, more of your calls and super chats and D-Lives. Back in a moment. Now, I totally disagree with the way things are going, but you can't be angry because that's what the enemy wants. He wants to control you. They do things to make you mad so they can control you. It's like being married. And the wife would do things to make you mad, or she'll do things to make you feel good. And men do that to women too when they want something from the woman, especially sex. They'll make her feel good or they'll make her angry. And the woman's going to have to say, you don't want to be angry. You want to speak up. You want to disagree with what's going on. It's wrong, but do not be angry. Then you won't have fear. You won't have doubt. You won't have worries. You'll be able to see, but you got to stay away from anger. That's why you must forgive your mothers and your fathers so that you can overcome the spirit of anger. It's a spirit and it's wicked. Nothing good in anger because it has no love, folks. You need love to defeat evil. And love is not a weakness. It's a strength. It's from God. It's His nature. All right, folks, welcome back. It's amazing to me that Bible thumpers, they know the Bible, but they have no courage. They have no love, but they won't even question that. What the? Such a sad way to live. When I look at the world, it fills me with sorrow. Children today gonna suffer tomorrow. Oh, what a shame. Such a sad way to live. What's the purpose of knowing God if you have no love? All you want to do is quote the Bible. Don't you know you're dumb? That doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make logical sense. Even in a fallen state, you would know that something is wrong. I know the Bible, but I'm still weak and pathetic. What the? And they'll read that God is love, but they still think it's emotional love. God is of power, but yet they have no power. God is the light, but yet they of darkness. What the? And they don't question it. That's what's so dumb about it. At least, thank God, in my fallen state, I questioned things. I knew I was wrong, but I didn't remember that one day. I didn't remember having a good life, and I was like, one day, I just want to be evil. Give up the good life, right? I never volunteered to become a quote-unquote sinner. So I knew I was wrong, just didn't know how to get out of it at the time. But the Bible thumpers know that they're wrong, and they'll quote the Bible and don't even try to get out of it. What a mess! This is why our country is falling apart, too. The Bible thumpers are no good. Some of the weakest men on this side of heaven are Bible thumper men. They're praising the Lord just like the ladies. They're hooping and hollering and jumping around just like the women. Acting like mama in the church. Talking about a man, but acting like a mama. Super Chats and D-Live.
Super Chat.
Super.
All righty, let's check out the Super Chats. We've got on D-Live. What's wrong with Oprah? With a diamond says, one monkey don't stop no show.
One monkey don't stop no show. If you don't want my love, you're free to go. You can go, you can go. Thank you.
Fluky Unicorn with a diamond on D-Live says, if Kyle is found innocent, Kosovo will burn.
Well, let it burn. I'd rather see Kosovo burn than for an innocent man to go to jail, and we know that he's innocent, just because some stupid, dumb black people hate white folks. It just doesn't make sense to me. The soul is worth more than the building. And if the people over in Kosovo don't make their law enforcers, meaning the people that they voted in, protect them, I don't know what to say. But Kyle should not be going to jail because some dumb black people who can't even take care of themselves, begging, taking robbing, stealing, and killing, hate white people, and you're going to listen to the enemy. So if it burns, let it burn. Burn, baby, burn. An innocent man should not go to jail because some thug blacks are trying to intimidate. Okay.
Asmodor on Odyssey says
The Odyssey.
That's right. Says the evidence absolutely supports homicide because there were dead people. It doesn't support murder. If Joe was a lawyer, he would know the difference.
What does homicide mean?
Homicide just means that there's a dead person.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's homicide, all right. But Kyle is an innocent man.
Yeah, it doesn't imply intent or anything like that. It's just there's dead people.
Thank you, Asmodor, for straightening out the black man again. Lord have mercy. That's why we need white men to keep the black people in line. And Kyle, hate is reminding me that Kyle wasn't charged with murder anyway.
Oh, is that a fact? I didn't know.
What a mess. Thank you, Asmodor. I appreciate it.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Baby42 on Streamlabs. So let me get this straight. Kyle Rittenhouse, who was an underage kid at the time, needed to be, quote, touched by an adult male in order to defend himself. There's a difference between murder and killing someone in self-defense. Kyle is a hero.
I couldn't believe that a grown adult man would say, well, he didn't touch him. So he got a gun pointed down at you and he didn't touch him. Or he throwing a skateboard at you and he didn't touch him. Or threatening, I'm going to kill you, so-called N-word, and he didn't touch. Come on, man. All right.
Baby42 with another one says, I feel like Tony is the type that would be twerking on an ambulance. Get off that ambulance, Tony, and do the silent prayer.
Tony sounds like a guy that need to be locked up in a padded room.
Yeah.
With white stuff on it and his arm around his shoulder in that tight jacket so he can't hurt himself. So Kyle was charged with first-degree reckless homicide and first-degree intentional homicide, according to AP and Fox News, and a few other charges. Amazing. Okay. Thank you.
Very interesting. Let's see here. Lisa from Texas with a diamond asks, how can I talk to you about a female radio show?
Oh, send your request to producer@JesseLeePeterson.com, producer@JesseLeePeterson.com. And that reminds me, we are looking for, I thought we had someone to take Nick's place, but we don't. I found out that we don't. If you're interested in producing the Jesse Lee Peterson show, contact Nick. Send it to Nick, producer@JesseLeePeterson.com, all right? And if you are interested and we decide to take you, you need to do at least 1 month intern starting, in December at least, so that Nick can get you all trained up. All right? Thank you. All right.
Mike Young on Streamlabs. Hey, Jesse, it's quite clear that Tony from California, Earl and Mays, and today's angry black caller, Lewis, is from yesterday, will never overcome their hatred of white people unless they overcome the anger.
Yeah, for sure. I'm just not accustomed to, and I know about it now, but I'm not accustomed to black men being so dumb, so female-minded mindset, so going along with the wrongdoing. Really. My grandfather or my father would not have ever put up with this mess. Even my mother and grandmother wouldn't put up with this. They wouldn't put up with us doing this, thinking this way or being this way, or anyone down the road or across the road or anywhere. And now the blacks are just jumping on board. Even the males. God didn't create you like this. He didn't do this to you. All right, thank you.
Hydro on Streamlabs, leave it to the blacks to defend 3 evil people who are up to no good using their names and property to destroy America.
Yeah. What the?
BB42 on Streamlabs. I don't know if Maze saw the video or not, but I do know that Maze is on the smack again. Maze, get off the smack, do the silent prayer.
They expect to come on the show and just throw out stuff. I'm like, Maze, did you see the video? No. Well, what? How you gonna call the guy a murderer if you didn't see the video? You even see the video. The video alone in this case. Now, you can't trust all videos for sure. But it's clear that Kyle was defending himself. And because Maze hear other people call it murderer, and they hate white people, she called it a murderer. That's what happens when you have anger. You're brainwashed and don't know it. Really. You're already brainwashed, and you can't see the truth? All right, thank you.
Liberator 88 with a diamond on DLive asks a very important question. Is it beta to shave my chest? I'm hairy as a monkey.
Yes, it's beta. Real men wear hair on their chest, not shave like a woman. That idea came from women. Women shave their body parts because women want to smell good, I guess, and not look like a man. But men wear hair. Don't be shaving like some little female. The woman's influence in our country today is out of control. They are convincing men to shave their hair on their body. Why are you shaving your hair? That's manly. Instead of look like a clean little girl. What the? Yeah, that's girl. All right.
Odysseus on Streamlabs. I think I heard you mention something about an entrepreneurial academy at Bond.
Yes.
What is that? Thanks.
We have an entrepreneurial academy that I noticed that when we had a school going at one time, but the parent wouldn't even bring the little kids to school, so we cut that out. And I started an academy, entrepreneurial academy, because I noticed that when these guys overcome their anger, they're like very talented. I'm like, what the? And they had ideas to start businesses, and some of them were already trying to get their businesses going. So I decided that we're going to start an academy to help young men, and so with their businesses or start their businesses. And what we were doing is bringing in speakers sometimes that would answer whatever question they have in their business, but I wanted them to do the work a step at a time, not do it for them, because that's how you grow. You grow by going and doing, right? And you learn as you do. And so we started that, and we were meeting here, but then the Chinese thing happened, so now I just talk to the guys by the way of phone or Skype with them until we move or see what's going to happen. Then we'll start meeting back in person again. And we haven't gotten the building yet because they won't stop. Now they want, in Los Angeles County alone, they want the people to have the vaccine thing. And so I don't know what to do. But yeah, and we started a credit union because some of the guys didn't have good credit. You know, sometimes, even though I never had to borrow money for my business, I just took one step at a time when I had the janitorial service. And I spent as I went and as I needed to. But I started a credit union so that we could loan some of the guys money if they need it, and then they put it back to keep the credit union going. So that's what that's all about. Thank you for asking. Okay.
Jur Animo on Streamlabs responding to the biblical question.
And the biblical question is, how do you feel about your weakness? How do you feel about your weakness?
Jur Animo says, I had enough of feeling anything about my weakness and am surrendering for God to take the lead. Being able to control anything is an illusion. Of myself I can do nothing, and of myself I know nothing. That is crystal clear to me.
Thank you for responding to that. I will put my little 2 cents in on Sunday. I want to hear from more, but thank you. I appreciate it.
Animus on Streamlabs, I noticed that if you don't have God within you, it can't be understood what Jesse talks about. That's why you're not a leader, you're just an example. You just are without intention, like you are not even there. You're just one with creation. How relaxing.
Amazing. Thank you.
Let's see here. Jur Animo on Streamlabs. Did you notice that nobody thought to mention Kyle's mother, who was responsible for taking care of her 17-year-old son? She's the one that drove him with his gun to Kenosha. Where was she after dropping him off into a knowingly dangerous situation?
Well, I'm glad she was around because whomever raised Kyle seemed to have done a good job. And at 17, he didn't need it, mama. At 15, I got my rifle on my birthday. At 15, they put it in a box. I opened it up, and it was a rifle. And I'm like, wow, I got a rifle, look. And I'm telling my other family members, I got a rifle. And the box had the bullets in it and everything. And I took my rifle at 15. I went out into the woods. I saw a squirrel in the tree. I loaded my rifle and I shot the squirrel. I didn't need mama around. What the? Stop being weak. You don't need mama. All right.
Jenny Crosby with a diamond on D-Live says, Black people getting ready to go shopping in Kenosha.
That's what it's all about. They want to ride so they can go steal and kill and rob. Really. Because watch, as soon if, God forbid, soon as they start a riot, if they start one, they're going shopping. All the blacks going to come out of the neighborhoods and go be stealing and robbing. That's what it's all about. It's about self-gratification. It's not about love. Thank you.
Turkey Man, Stinky Boy. Love reading that with a donation here on Streamlabs. Jesse breaks it down so simple. You have no peace because you're angry.
Yep.
You're angry. You're spelled incorrectly. You're angry because you resent someone or something someone did to you. Go and forgive. It's that simple. The kingdom is in you, just waiting for your return home.
Amazing. Come back home to the Father. All right. Thank you. Hold off there for a minute. I want to take some calls.
Okay.
I do appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Ladies, thank you so much, folks. I do appreciate it. Ladies, we're having the ladies forum tomorrow night, Thursday, at 7 p.m. Come on down. The third Thursday night of the month. For ladies only. And men, don't worry. First Thursday night for the men and Sunday morning for everybody. And tonight, don't miss today's premiere of a classic Bond Sunday service at 4 p.m. Pacific time over at the Bond YouTube channel. Bond YouTube channel. Stephen is out of Rhode Island. Stephen, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hey, good morning, Jesse. Thank you for having me. Man.
Good morning, Stephen. I can't hardly hear you, though.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now. Yes, sir.
Thank you for having me, sir. I appreciate you.
Yes, you're welcome. Thank you.
Can I take a stab at your biblical question?
Let's see here. How do you feel about your weaknesses?
Like I should have the courage to overcome it.
You feel like you should have the courage to overcome?
Yes, sir.
And why don't you?
I do have it.
Oh.
I'm just saying that if I have a weakness and it's exposed to me, I should have the courage to overcome it.
Oh, I got you. Okay. I appreciate that, Stephen. I will put my little 2 cents in on Sunday. I want to hear from some more people about this. It's a really, really good question, though. A really, really good question.
It is.
Yeah.
I agree, man. That's a deep one right there.
It sure is.
And another reason why I called is I got walked out today for not complying with the mask mandate.
Right. You got walked out of what?
I got walked out of my job.
Oh, you did?
Yes, sir.
And so they wanted you to wear a mask at work, and you said, no, I'm not going to do it?
Well, I was complying, and, I've been watching the news. It's been over a year. And so I decided to pull my religious card and stand up and and let the ball roll and let the dice roll where they may.
And they wouldn't accept your religious card?
I'm waiting for them to put it in writing. I did ask them calmly to put it in writing that they're walking me out for not complying with the mask mandate for religious reasons.
And so you said, I can't do this because of my religion, right? And they said no to that,
Yes,
or they're
sir.
going to let you know?
They said no to it. They said, all right, pack your stuff up and go home after I said that.
But you're not fired yet.
I have no idea. They just walked me out. I asked them and said, so you're firing me? I even asked them, so are you firing me because I'm not complying with the mask mandate for religious reasons? And they said, just pack your stuff up and go home.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well,
So I'm just going to...
You're just going to what?
I'm sorry.
You see,
I'm just going to be still,
Yeah.
Wait.
Have a wait-and-see attitude. And while you're going through this, observe the thoughts. Do not believe them at all, because Satan will try to tempt you to overreact and do something that they can judge you about, right? And fire you.
Funny you say that. It's funny you say that, Jesse. Satan's trying to make me feel sorry. I'm not sorry.
Yeah. Don't feel sorry, but don't feel angry.
Yeah.
Don't feel like you're going to get at them in any way. Just have a wait and see. It's going to be amazing for you.
Yes, sir. I just wanted to have courage. I saw that I was complying with something I didn't agree with, and I wanted to have the courage to stand up to it. So I did.
Do you have a wife and kids?
No, sir. I am single,
Okay.
never married, none of that.
Right on.
So,
Okay. Well, I wish you well, Stephen. Let me know how it goes.
I will. Thank you very much, Jesse.
All right. God bless you, man.
You too, man. God bless you.
All right.
Bye.
Bye now. Ruben is out of New York City. Ruben, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hey, thank you for taking my call.
Yes, sir.
So I wanted to mention that I've been having a hard time finding a job here in New York City that doesn't mandate something. I'm more concerned about the vaccine mandate. I can't find a job that doesn't. Doing my field that I was in, it's all mandated. So I got to do something new. And all the ideas that I have seem kind of silly. I don't know.
How old are you?
I'm 31.
And are you married with children?
No.
So why don't you move somewhere else, to another city or another state or somewhere since it's just you, why not?
If I had the money, I would. And I'm not really sure where in the United States I would rather live.
Yeah.
I've never been really outside of New York.
You've never been outside of New York?
Not really. I mean, I don't really count, being in the car or being on a plane as, seeing most of America. As a kid, you just go in the car, see the highway.
Yeah.
And go get to the destination, and that's about it.
So, who do you live with now?
Right now, I'm with my cousin.
Oh, you're living with your cousin right now?
Yeah.
Oh, hey, what's your question for me?
I don't know. I have ideas, silly ideas, or maybe constructive sometimes.
Hold on, Ruben. I got to take a break. 2 more hours to go. Manhood Hour is coming up in the third hour. Hake is coming in. Back in a moment. So, here's what I recommend. I invite you to download my silent prayer.
I know some people have called in and they wonder if the silent prayer is working. And I just want to take a second and to tell them that it works. You just have to stick with it.
Yeah.
That's the first thing I started doing before I even forgave my parents. And I was so depressed and suicidal at some times that I just would have to stop in the middle of my job or whatever I was doing and go into the silent prayer. And it really does help. Like, I don't have those anymore.
Amazing. You haven't seen anything yet. Doubt every thought. Bring every thought into captivity. Just let them all pass. Don't judge them. You haven't seen anything. It gets better and better and better and easier. So my gift to you, no charge. at rebuildingtheman.com/church.
They're pushing the vax. It is ridiculous. And what's also ridiculous, they're going after Paul Gosar, a real American hero. This is the end of hour one of the Jesse Lee Peterson Show. It's Wednesday, November 17th, 2021 AD. Stay tuned for hour two. Jesse Lee will be right back. But first, hake news, not fake news. Tomorrow night, for third Thursday of the month, Women's Forum, 7 p.m. at Bond in Los Angeles. Not recorded, not streamed, for ladies only here at Bond in Los Angeles. RebuildingTheMan.com/events. Men's Forums are first Thursday. Women's Forums third Thursday. And tonight, or today, this afternoon for us, 4 p.m. Pacific time, Church with Jesse Lee Peterson Archive Sunday service about Newtown, Connecticut, the school shooting in Sandy Hook Elementary School. Remember that? That's going to be a throwback from 2012. They're pushing the vaccine. CNN Commie Nonsense Network reports the FDA is considering whether to expand emergency use authorization for Pfizer's China virus vaccine to include booster shots for all adults. A CDC advisory panel is set to meet Friday to discuss the same thing. However, some states aren't waiting for official sign-offs. Arkansas, California, Colorado, New Mexico, and West Virginia all expanded eligibility for China virus booster shots for everyone 18 and older 6 months after their second dose. Ridiculous. The sleepy Biden administration also plans on purchasing 10 million doses of Pfizer's experimental antiviral China virus pill. The pill, known as Paxlovid, has been shown by Pfizer supposedly to significantly reduce hospitalization and death from the China virus. What are the side effects? Don't know. It's not FDA authorized yet. The drug maker, though, says that they will seek approval soon. Pfizer's also signed a licensing agreement to allow broader global access to their pill. Interestingly, call it the pill. Fake drama. This House is expected to vote today, according to Commie Nonsense Network, on whether to censure Republican Representative Paul Gosar and strip him of committee posts after he posted that anime cartoon video, Japanese cartoon, Japanimation, to his Twitter and Instagram accounts showing him appearing to kill Democrat Representative Sandy Cortez and Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez and attacking President Sleepy Joe Biden. A censure resolution is the most severe form of punishment in the House and hasn't been handed down since 2010. So far, Paul Gosar's Republican colleagues have mostly just shrugged off the matter. It's a strong contrast to punishments in the GOP that some in the GOP are leveling against their own party members for breaking rank. For example, Liz Cheney, total rhino, anti-Trump rhino, was recently disowned by her own state party for not supporting our real President Donald J. Trump's false election fraud claims. And some House Republicans still want to punish the 13 GOP members, rhinos, who backed the recently passed bipartisan communist infrastructure bill, including that guy who turned from Democrat to Republican, Jeff Van Drew. Trump loved him at that point. Christmas and New Year's. CNN says water your Christmas tree or else, warns the U.S. safety group in an alarming alert. Thirsty trees are dry trees. Dry trees are a holiday house fire waiting to happen. They can't even bring themselves to say Christmas. What the heck? New York City will allow thousands to join Times Square in the New Year's Eve celebration with proof of vaccination. Avoid the crowds, am I right? Trans madness. The International Olympic Committee, IOC, is updating their guidance on transgender and intersex, meaning hermaphrodite, athletes. In 2003, the IOC allowed transgender athletes to compete only if they've undergone surgery, gender reassignment surgery, which is not even real, and at least 2 years of hormone therapy. Over a decade later, they scrapped the surgery requirement but set testosterone limits for male athletes who compete in women's sports. Now, 3 months after the first openly transgender athletes participated, they're citing medical experts and so-called human rights experts to draft a guidance. I'm James Hake.